Emotional conflict and communication conflict between you and your beloved are almost, well, they're an inevitable part of this process. So I'm just here to tell you, I've been through it. I've guided many, many couples through it, and it happens every single time. So I want you to be prepared for that, and I want you to understand what's really going on. As we talked about before, you're being pushed through a portal that part of you embraces with excitement and open arms and an open heart. And part of you is wanting to sort of pull back and stay on that ledge and stay with what's familiar and known. And so that's why all of this emotional tension gets stirred up in the planning process. Typically, it will manifest and kind of focus on, again, all those little details and making yourself a little bit crazy at certain points with making sure everything is perfect for your wedding. And so, what I am going to encourage you to do is a couple of things. One is be aware, know what's going on, know that what you're doing is actually a huge step, is very brave and courageous. And so, you've got to give yourself the time and space to experience it fully. And what I want you to do is build in time alone with your beloved throughout the process. Um, so, even though it feels like maybe it's indulgent or, oh, I'm not going to get all of these details done, the work of a wedding is downtime. The more downtime you can get to integrate and nurture yourself and nurture that connection between you and your beloved, the more powerful the event and the experience is going to be for you. Another thing is to have trusted support. So I can't encourage you enough to have somebody manage the details of the wedding, particularly toward the end when everything gets very intense. You want to be able to hand things off to someone. Now, there's a big industry in weddings, and you can hire a wedding planner. It's also true that most people have a friend who's a natural manager and logistical person. Sometimes we call them control freaks. Well, this is what they were born to do. And so you hand them the notebook and the clipboard at least a few weeks before the wedding happens. Let them do that, because the work that's most important and that only you can do is the work of preparing for the ritual. And um, that's about sinking deeply into the ceremony that you're going to be a part of, and it's about establishing that real good connection with your beloved. So it's good also to hire an officiant. So an officiant in the state of California, you actually don't have to have someone who's necessarily legally ordained to perform a ceremony. You can have your best friend go to the courthouse and get that certificate and make it happen that way. What I want to encourage you to do, though, is to have somebody who's your spiritual support during the whole journey. And it's ideal if that person can meet with you and help you work through and be present with you through some of the stronger feelings, and craft a ceremony that's really going to be reflective of you and that's going to be beautiful. And again, no matter how you do your wedding, I want you to please craft that ceremony early in the process. Remember, that's the heart of what's going to be happening. It could be 15 minutes, it could be 45 minutes. They really range, but you don't want to neglect it. That's what people show up and come thousands of miles to be a part of. Everything else is terrific, and it's a party and it's fun, but without being anchored by that ceremony, it's not going to feel the same and it won't be as powerful. And I want you to get the most out of every second of your wedding.